major challenge we have is time. Endaf and I got a team together to get it restored. I went to Nick and the team at Swift to get the engine built. Then we took it to Goodwood members meeting and raced against 59 other minis. We made this car in 4 months. It's not just about the Countryman, it's about the best mini. I've had a hat on a mini, but not that we know it. We got the car ready, we got it to the members meeting. We qualified really well, had a great time, had a wicked laugh. We all came away with smiles on our faces, that's what it's all about. But we stood there and had a little natter afterwards and said, come on, what are we going to do? What's next? And I've always got some weird idea, crazy idea up my sleeve. So we right at that minute, we actually touched on perhaps an endurance race of some sort. My mind then wandered immediately to the 6 hour. I've been to the 6 hour event quite a few times now, racing in mostly the touring cars with my Cobras. And I've always looked in admiration at the Wallies running around in the 6 hour race and thought, oh, I'm going to do that one day, we'll do that. We really saw a little opportunity to do something different and really cool, which was to stick the little wooden wonder into the 6 hour race. When I had that first chat with Nick and Endaf about coming and whether we needed to do anything to the car, I was very much of the opinion that what we should do is just stick the car in the race and go and have a laugh. For me, above all else, that's what it's about. So I just sort of said, look, let's prepare the car. We'll probably bung a couple of spotlights on the front and we'll just go racing. Of course, that quickly turns from, no, we'll just go racing, to, but if we just, look, if we read the rules and we just change this, because it's allowed in the rules, actually we might be able to gain X. And that then turns into a lot of last minute running around. We looked at possibly detuning the engine a little before we came. The reason being to give it greater longevity, really, to last the race. Obviously, what we want to do is finish above all else. So we did do that. And during qualifying, we kind of felt as though really there wasn't enough power, and actually what we were doing to get the lap times is we're actually probably driving the car harder than we would if we had a quicker engine. So we made a decision last night to change the engine, and change the engine for the engine out of the ogle, which is a crazy plan, but that engine has a little bit more power and we can run to lower revs than we normally would. But with the extra power, we'll be able to achieve the lap times we need. We can actually get the car FIA homologated. We haven't done that because to run at the members meeting, we had to accept the fact that if we homologated the car, it would have an 850cc engine and drum brakes, which running with a load of other minis at Goodwood would be interesting, but also probably pretty dangerous. So the car doesn't have papers. Now, when I approached the 6 hour team and said, how do you feel about it? They were over the moon. They thought it'd be great, it'd be fun, it'd be an interesting car to have on the grid. So we entered. When we got here, what we didn't realise was that the FIA have some different thinking on this, and we didn't realise that until we were qualifying. So we qualified really well. I think we actually qualified around about 80th out of the 100 odd cars that were running. At the end of the qualifying session, we were handed a note that effectively said, because you don't have an HTP, you'll just be running in an invitation class and you'll have to start from the back of the grid. To be fair, we're in a class of our own, we're the only Mini. There's some other touring cars here, but they're all big engine V8 cars that probably we weren't going to run close to anyway. So it's no big deal, it's just a bit of a shame that we didn't know that beforehand. The plan is, I will jump in first and probably do about an hour and 20 minutes. We'll come in and then one of the other guys, we're not quite sure, will then go out and do a similar period. We'll do another change and they'll go out and do another similar period, which should leave, we're guessing, about an hour at the end of the race when I'll jump back in again. So I'll be doing the start and the finish. That's the plan, but things change. So we'll just I'm going first, and after that, who knows?
The format is quite unique. At any time, you know, you can come in and do your pit stop. So when we get to the refueling point, the fuel station is the critical point. That can be absolute carnage in there. The unique thing about the Spa 6 hour is the fact that when you refuel, you've got to go down into the fuel station, and it is just like pulling off the main road, you know, anywhere you like, and you just roll into the garage. There's 4 fuel pumps, proper nozzle, you know, the driver has to do it himself. So the only thing you don't have to do is you don't have to go in and pay for it and buy a Mars bar while you're there at the same time. You can literally win it or lose it in that pit stop. So for us with the Mini, what's actually going to be fun is it's really touch and go whether we can make 2 hours. We're looking at different strategies, if you like, at the moment. We'll come in at slightly odd times. It means we've got to do 3 pit stops rather than 2. This is the ideal scenario, but that might go into our advantage because we're going to come in at random times where other people wouldn't be coming in.
Places from the back, reeling them in slowly. Even when they spread out, we were still catching lap by lap the next car. Awesome. The handling was absolutely spot on. The little Mini just goes and goes in the wet. Racing the Woody at Spa was an incredible experience. Starting right at the back, 102nd, making up 50 cars in the first hour, getting the car up to 20th at one point, and then finishing in 23rd, up against much more powerful machinery, GT40s, Cobras, E-Types, Lotuses, Porsche. Words fail me. What an experience. Something I'm not going to forget.